So I want to cover some stuff about the DCF thing and some comments I'm seeing about how they moved out on 331 and it wasn't until April 7th that we basically officially filed the DCF complaint. I cover how it absolutely happened under my roof in our house. We are a multi-generational family. It's a thing, it's a new word. Basically, they live with us because of the cost of living. I absolutely did not get involved in my daughter's parenting or her marriage. You take that for whatever it is. Now, the reason it was very hard for me and my husband to actually even go to authorities, like even the police. In fact, we didn't contact the police. It was not until they actually trespassed me and basically gave me notice that I could never go back on that property when we knocked on the door that we then asked the sheriff deputy to come in. We were absolutely trying to get them to call the law. That was me. I didn't want to call the law on my baby. I just did not. I didn't. I wanted them to just acknowledge they did something wrong and to fix it. That's why the next was his side of the family. And then when I realized there was a problem. Anyhow, the reason it took us so long to go to DCF is that my husband back in the 70s was him and his brother were taken, well, actually given voluntarily over to Children's Services and put into the foster care system where they were both severely abused. It was bad, people. And my husband was very much against us calling and doing anything with DCF because we all have heard, rather you're on their side or not on their side, it's a very, very flawed system. And the abuse absolutely happened to our roof. And so my husband was concerned that the babies would be taken from their parents, not allow us to take care of them, even though they lived with us since they were less than 6 months old, and be put into something with strangers. And then we have absolutely, because at the end of the day, I still believe there's good in my daughter. She's just making really bad decisions. So no, we didn't go right to DCF. We did not. Judge us for that, please. But we did eventually. We had to when we were realizing that everybody was saying you had to go to DCF. There was nothing that can be done. And I want to thank you to the person who commented on my YouTube that told me to get the FOIA, the Fair Information Act information so I can get the body cam of the deputy who came here to trespass me and saw the crib and said, because he didn't see the abuse, there was nothing for him to do. Luckily, I do know he activated the blue lights, so that means his body camera definitely went on. I've already sent the email requesting it and also put my district attorney on it. So thank you very much, because at the end of the day, what this is it isn't just, it's about calling out abuse, and it's calling out abuse of power. It's calling out saying that if there is abuse, it needs to be clearly handled and abuse needs to be treated. Child abuse needs to be at the utmost forefront of our law enforcement and it not just all be on DCF. And that is absolutely what I'm advocating for and why I went to the FBI about the abuse of color, I believe is what the proper terminology is. Anyhow, so I'm just explaining why it took us so long to go to DCF after they moved out. And it was literally, I can show you, where we were absolutely asking them to get help. And it was when that video went down, the white trash video, that they were like, you have no proof. And if you hear, I'm telling them to call the law. Because I didn't want to call the law on my child. And that is what you should be judging me for, is that even when I actually saw online that there was 2 major forms of actual abuse, and it literally said I needed to report it, it did still take me a couple days because I just was thinking that I could get through to her and Jesse and get them to step up and do the right thing. And I had to go viral. I had to go online and make a fool of myself to stop the establishment from this narrative that I was the problem and they were not. So you can continue to judge me, TikTok, because like I said, at the end of the day, you really, really, really did help me prove to the establishment that I wasn't going away. So just reminding everybody and myself to do better. Thank you.